Hey guys, this is Comic Inno, and today I'm doing a review for The Legends of Tomorrow. So let's start talking about this episode. So here we get to see a part 2 of our Firestorm episode from last week, or Soviet Union Firestorm episode, slash Cold War episode. Because it seems like with Legends of Tomorrow, they're kind of playing with the formula of what we've seen from Flash and Arrow, where you see these kind of one-shot stories a lot of these villains, and in Legends of Tomorrow they actually stay in a time period for a little while. So I think that's actually really fun that we can't guess how long they're going to stay in a time period, or how long this, kind of one-shot villain's going to stay. And you get to actually learn a little bit more about the one-shot villain or the villain of the week, because it's more than just a week. It's actually 2 weeks in it for at least this particular story. But going on to it, we see that Stein is obviously the big captor, I guess, because the Soviet Union woman wants to learn about the firestorms, and we see in the future that Star City is being attacked by firestorms, because they kind of ruin history here, that Soviet Union actually won the Cold War and took over, Star City in America. So now it's kind of the team fixing their mistakes and trying to get Stein. But Rip Hunter also says, if you can't get Stein and he's being captured, you might have to kill him, and tells that to Sarah. And what's interesting about that is kind of Captain Cold and Sarah's relationship with that situation, because Captain Cold's like, well, you shouldn't kill one of your men, and now it's Captain Cold really convincing her, you're not that person anymore, and we could work as a team to figure this out. And you never expect that to be Captain Cold's words. You maybe would expect Rip Hunter to say that, but he doesn't want the future to change. He's like, no, if you have to kill Stein, then do it. But it's the villain, or the person that was the villain, who says, you shouldn't kill your men. And I really enjoyed that scene. Other things going on, again, it's seeing if the Soviet Union woman will become Soviet Union Firestorm, as they call her in the episode. And in the episode they do, but she doesn't listen to Stein. She doesn't use the thing they made. That way they could both stay together, and she pretty much explodes, and they're all able to escape after the prison break. We see some characters interact with each other because of it. Finally get some interaction with Heatwave and Ray. I feel like Ray's been great with the Rogues. He's the one who's given them a little bit of a lighter story, or at least been for an audience to allow us to understand Heatwave and Captain Cold a little bit better through Ray's eyes. He's obviously I like calling him the cheerleader of the group. It was nice to see Heatwave, because that's kind of been a complaint that they haven't been using him enough. So I don't know if they made me love his character, even though I love his one-liners. I still want to see more from him, but it was good to at least utilize him here. Then we also obviously have to touch upon the Firestorm story between Jax and Stein. You see that their relationship is repaired once again, and hopefully they don't keep flip-flopping and going back and forth with their relationship. But right now they're okay. And in the end, prison break's done, and they are attacked by Cronus, who's the guy who is, part of the time travelers and wants to get Rip Hunter. And they go into the time stream and kind of crash land into Star City of 2046, where they run into Connor Hawke, which I am so excited to see next episode. So I love the cliffhanger, even though we kind of knew we were going there. It is nice to see how we got there. And I love Connor's look, because something I was really scared of when they were going to cast Connor was that they're going to change his skin color, and I feel like that's an important part of his character. So it's nice that they got his skin color really correct on the screen. It'd be interesting if he has his bald look, or like kind of the monk look that he had in the comics, or if they're gonna do some of the blonde hair like they have done in the comics too. I'm really curious of how they're gonna do that on the show. But it was really nice to see Connor, and I'm curious to see what stage he's in, like if he's like in good terms with his father, if he's not. It's gonna be cool. And also, who's Connor's mother, I'm curious if they're gonna reveal that. We also saw a smoke building, so Felicity Smoke and Oliver Queen still together. What's going on there? So a lot of interesting aspects, and I'm really excited for that episode, because hey, I'm a huge Arrow fan and Green Arrow fan in general. So I thought it was a great cliffhanger. Even if we didn't get to see Oliver in that cliffhanger, they definitely just gave me enough to say, oh my god, give me more, I need this next episode. So that's kind of my thoughts. I will say I kind of wanted a little bit more with Vandal Savage in this episode. It would have been nice to, I know he was in the episode, but he's kind of like restating the things we already know. So in that way, I do feel like this whole arc was a little fillerish, but I think it's also an arc where the team has to work together and kind of grow as a team, and maybe show that Rip Hunter also kind of needs to admit with his mistakes. And obviously, we're going to see the team grow even more as the show continues. But I think that's what this arc was really used for. And I guess to learn a little bit more of the mythology of Firestorm. But yeah, I think the ending was really good. It got me excited for the next episode. I don't think this is a perfect episode, but it was still fun for a lot of parts and good character growth. So this is Comic Uno. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there's links from my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. I'll see you guys later. Bye.